Are you thinking about becoming a public adjuster? Are you thinking about becoming an independent adjuster? Are you thinking about taking the exam and preparing to become an insurance adjuster for your career? Well, you're going to have to know how to prepare for this thing, and I'm going to teach you how I was able to do it, not only in Florida, not only in Texas, but in California and North Carolina as well. It's all pretty much the same, not that difficult. You can do this too. If I can do it, trust me, you can do it. Let's get right down to it in 3, 2, 1. What's up, advocates? Welcome back to another episode of the Commercial Claims Show. I am your host, Vince Perri, owner and CEO of Elite Resolutions. Can't see it. And the Commercial Claims Advocate, EliteResolutions.com, CommercialClaimsAdvocate.com. Make sure you subscribe below. Click the bell icon before I get into this. Ready? Let's go. Listen up, advocates. Whether you're a public adjuster, contractor, or an attorney, if you have a client that has suffered any kind of catastrophic loss, whether that be by fire or storm or just any catastrophic loss that requires your client to have to move out and incur ALE and loss of use coverage, you need to think about looking at Black Diamond Services. This is an incredible idea for a service that I think is extremely valuable, and I've actually personally used for my clients myself. Basically, what they do is they provide all of the necessary money that is needed to be done for the homeowner to go and move to another place, whether that be a hotel or another home or whatever it is. They basically bill through their insurance policy's loss of use coverage, and basically they provide financial assistance so that the insured never has to incur any out-of-pocket expenses. It's an amazing service. I love the people at Black Diamond Services, especially Millie Varela. If you just contact her and contact Black Diamond Services, I'm telling you, they're going to take care of your clients like you wouldn't believe. I personally have a client who suffered a fire damage and had to use their ALE coverage, and all we did was refer them to Black Diamond. Our clients did not have to come out of pocket a single penny. Black Diamond provided all of the financial money, and they provided the actual location for the homeowner to stay. Amazing service. Contact Black Diamond Services today so you could find out more information for yourself. You want to study for the test? I'm going to make this a quick video. I'm not going to spend too much time on it because I'm going to tell you how I did it and how I was able to get successful. First of all, I want you to understand, if you have failed the test, do not be discouraged. I have failed the state exam as well. I failed the Florida exam the first time, then I passed it the second time. I failed the California exam the first time, then I passed it the second time. And you're probably wondering, how am I going to take advice from somebody who failed each time, who's already failed twice? How am I going to take advice from him? Because when I took the Texas exam, I actually did it right. I prepared a unique way, and I was able to pass the first time with over a 90%. And for someone like me, who is the absolute worst test taker on this planet, it was very impressive. I was impressed by myself. So it's going to be really quick. First of all, the most important thing, and I learned this from my wife, who is the smartest person I know and the best test taker I've ever seen. Avoid trying to memorize the material and just take practice test questions. Focus the majority of your time on taking practice test questions. Just take them over and over and over again. I'm an athlete. I'm always competing and I do running, and I played competitive tennis and college tennis. I did all kinds of stuff. I looked at it as a sport. When I started taking the practice exams, I looked at it as a sport. And what do you do to get good at a sport? You practice. And the sport that you're playing is the sport of test taking. It's not memorizing and studying and trying to learn insurance. No. You do that on the job. I hate to say it, but let's face it. You're going to learn more on the job than you're going to learn preparing and taking this test. The goal is to just do what? Pass the freaking test. And the test is the sport, and you have to get good at test taking. Now, me personally, I was never good at test taking. I wish I would have learned this years ago. But my wife was the one that told me. She's just like, don't worry about memorizing because you're not going to be able to memorize it. Don't even worry about learning the material. You're going to learn it when you get on the job and you're doing everything, because that, honestly, you're going to learn a lot more through experience. Learn how to take the test. Learn the questions of the test. Learn how they ask it. Learn the ifs and the ands and the not included or everything but, all that stuff. Get used to all that. You practice more and more of that, you're going to ace the exam. And man, did it help. And the way I prepared was, I'm going to tell you mainly about the Texas exam, was 1 month out. I put it for 1 month out. And my goal was to study for 1 hour every day. No matter what, I was studying for an hour a day. And what I would do is I would do 30 minutes of the actual material, studying, learning the material, 30 minutes of practice questions. No matter what, even if I felt like after the 30 minutes I wanted to study a little bit more, nope, straight to test questions. I did that every single day, 7 days a week. Until 1 week before the exam, I kicked it up to 2 hours. And what I did was I did 1 hour of study material, 1 hour of test questions. Until I went just about 3 or 4 days before, I would actually just do 30 minutes of study material, and I would do an hour and a half of test questions. I probably ended up taking that test. I probably took it about 5 or 6 times before I even got to the actual exam. And when I got to the exam, the test questions I was taking, they're all relatively the same. Man, I aced that thing. I aced it. I knew exactly what was coming. I knew the test questions already because I had just studied the practice test questions, and that was it. Every test that I took, every question, it was like almost repeating over and over again, and I would get some wrong. And the other beauty, and by the way, I have another video where I give you the different places that you can go. I used insurance-schools.com. That's where I went to. So if they have it in your state, great. If they don't, I'm sorry. You got to look somewhere else. But the beauty about it is if I got the question right or wrong, it would explain to me why it was right or explain to me what was wrong. So it was almost like I'm studying anyway. And honestly, I would try to split the time between test questions and I would split the time between that and study material. But to be honest, you don't even have to do that. Just take test questions. If I can recommend anything, take as many practice test questions as you possibly can. And that's it. That's how you do it. That's my guide. I looked up some stuff that you could do. Make sure that you rest up before the exam. Obviously, that's very, very important. Do not go out. Do not go drinking. Do not do anything that you're not supposed to be doing the night before the exam. I would even go so far to two nights before the exam, because I know you drink a lot one night. It's going to linger for a little bit. So I would say at least not just the night before, but the night before that as well. Lay low, get some sleep, make sure you're super rested, and you're ready for it. And that's pretty much it. That's it. Take a lot of practice questions, rest up, and be ready, and you'll ace it your first time. And if you've already failed it once, don't worry. I've been there too. If you follow this, you'll ace it the second time. And if you failed it twice, you'll ace it the third time. Just follow that. That's it, guys. That's all I have. Told you it'd be a short video because honestly, it's just worked so well for me because I'm such a terrible test taker. It was amazing how well it worked for me, where I got over 90% on my Texas exam. It's pretty awesome. And that's it. That's all I got. Again, I'm Vince Perri. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you click the link below. Not the link, click the bell below. We have a new video coming out every Wednesday. You can go on commercialclaimsadvocate.com, get a copy of this book, sign up for one of our courses, one of our live courses, come to one of our events that we have all over the country. Go on eliteresolutions.com if you're a policyholder and you want some information on filing a claim, or if you're a public adjuster and you want to come on board. We'll send you an application that you could fill out. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you had a great week. Hope you're having a great week. Hope you have a great end of your week. And we'll see you next week. Goodbye.